Hey, good people. It is your man, Shannyn Casino. Thank you guys for clicking the link and joining in back on another episode of the OD. Yes, I hope everybody has had a great week so far. And tonight we are going to keep it moving to finish out the week strong. That's what we are here to do. Today, I have a special guest this week. Oh, man. I've been wanting to speak to this woman for quite some time now. And finally, I have a moment to speak to her. And not just to speak to her for myself, but to speak to her so you guys can get the nuggets and the gems that this woman has. Right now, you're watching The OD, brought to you by The Social Maximus. Once again, I'm your man, Shannyn Casino. And today we have on the show the one, the only, Wantaise Davis.
What's going on, people? How you doing?
All right. Wantaise, welcome to the OD.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So how you been? Kick it with me. What's going on with you?
Man. I'm feeling good. I got a lot of great things coming for the people. So just been in my creative mode lately and still manifesting some things. So yeah, I'm feeling fantastic. How you been?
I'm doing really good. God is working out some things, and he's making it happen. You know, it's no longer on in my power. It's all on him. He's doing it, and he is. Won't he do it?
Won't he will?
Won't he will? One thing I know, I will say, first of all, like I said, I love the braids, but this Holly Berry, this little shortcut you got going on, come on with it.
Listen, I'm trying to do a little something like it's weird. Like I'll experiment with different hairstyles all the time because it's so weird. It kind of brings out a different character. But the short hair, the rebel in me comes out.
Come on.
Oh yeah, honey, that raw, like let's get it done. Let's not be affected by the status quo. None of that matters. Like come out here and be your raw, authentic, and amazing self. So you'll see I'll do that. And I'll come out with the, long hair again and some braids, and then I'll just chop it off again. So this is chop off season. This is conquer season. This is goddess season. So that's why hair is short. Yeah.
Come on. I hear you talking. Well, listen, let's get right on into this. All right, let's get into this because we got some people that are interested in hearing from you. They've been watching your promotions all on Instagram, all on YouTube. They've been watching all your stuff. Your Instagram is popping, right? So I want to get started because you are a certified life coach. But here's what I love about you, and I don't hear it often. From other speakers and motivational speakers. But your title, not only the mindset, but and manifestation coach.
Yeah.
Come on, now that's powerful in itself. So my question to you, just to start it off, how powerful are words to you?
Oh my gosh. Words are so powerful to me that I will end a conversation that's not affirming what I want. That's how powerful they are to me. For years we've been taught that, words don't matter, words will never hurt me. But unfortunately, to a certain extent, if you allow it to feed your spirit, they can injure you. They can change even a conversation you've had with God. And all of a sudden you're believing a person instead of believing the vision that God has given you. So words are beyond, I think they're beyond powerful, but they're only powerful depending on how you view them and their level of importance to you. I'll give you an example really quick, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Most spiritual people say grand rising, and that's cool, right? I still say good morning. And people say, well, why would you say good morning and you know God and you're a spiritual being? And I said, well, I don't see it as morning like a death. I see it as good day, sunshine, right?
Right.
That's my personal view. But if someone sees it as good morning like death, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't say that. Maybe you should say grand rising. So it also depends on how you play the wordplay, how you view that word. What's your definition of it?
Right. So it's good morning for you.
It's good morning or good day.
A good day. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, love, I may say that because that's me. If you hear me say grand rising, it's not authentic to me, but it is authentic to a lot of people that I know. So I don't judge it.
I hear you. I hear you. Now, tell me, what is this? I've seen something on your profile on your Instagram, um, and I seen you did an interview as well with Voyage, I believe it was. You
Yeah.
did, and I'm because I'm doing my research on you. Um,
Okay.
you have something going on called LPN and living powerfully now, and then there's the MLA. You want to tell us a little bit more about what LPN and MLA is and what it
Okay,
is?
so living powerfully now means, okay, so let me start here. When you're talking about manifesting, I tell all my clients to start from the perspective of what story are you telling now? Because that is the story that will continue.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have like challenges coming to the point. So why hasn't my life shifted yet? Because you're still in the same state. You're still in the same story. So living powerfully now means I have to change my thoughts now. I have to change how I view things now. I have to change how I view people now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times we're saying, well, I don't get it. I'm waiting for my external to shift before I shift. Everything starts with you. Even when you talk about, let's say the Bible really quick, the Bible says the kingdom lives within.
Yes.
Okay. So it starts with us. And I love when people say when you point the finger, the thumb is pointing directly at you.
Ooh.
Everything starts with you. So living powerfully now means if you are in a state that doesn't feel comfortable, maybe you've lost your job, maybe you and your mate are having difficulty communicating, right?
Yep.
You get to choose how you think about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It seems easy though, right? But it's like, how do you choose being powerfully now when you and your partner aren't talking? You can literally, because think about it, this is what we do. We argue in our heads a lot with our partners. So you can just take that opportunity to say, no, let me have loving thoughts about that individual in this moment. And it's the eeriest thing, things will start to shift. Your partner may actually apologize or you've never apologized before. Only because your thoughts are shifting. So that's why I say living powerfully now is taking the action of the now, not when I get in shape, not when I get the money. What can I do today to be in my most powerful state? I can change how I see it.
Right. Yeah, for me, I've learned in my walk, I learned that I stopped, the arguing. Stopped arguing. It's either I'm making my point, and that's it, but I'm done arguing. You know the old saying, if two people are arguing, nobody knows who the fool is. You know what I mean? So especially if you are walking in the word, and if you're walking in true righteousness, and you are fair, and you take the accountability for how you are and who you are, then if you are wrong, then that there goes that apology. But if you know that you are walking in righteousness, you know what I mean? It's like in people arguing, that there are just some people that just want to argue. Like, because here's another thing. Some people's love language is argument.
It used to be mine.
Come on. Talk to me about that. Talk.
God. But you know what it was? It was a learned behavior. I didn't realize it.
Yes.
I love the women in my family. No shade if any of them are watching. But I grew up in a very interesting environment where all the women were very dominant. So if they didn't get their way, they would yell, maybe cuss a little bit, whatever, go back and forth. And I noticed as I continued to mature and, get older, I realized that was something I did quite often.
You picked it up.
And and someone had to give me that sense of awareness and say, why is that your go-to? And I was like, but I'm not having an argument. And I'm doing this the whole time. I'm saying I'm not having an argument, And I realized in that moment, okay, so where am I going with this? How is this helping me?
Right.
Is it tearing apart my relationships? Is it putting me in a state of feeling like maybe I'm not heard? So maybe I need to communicate differently.
Yes.
So I used to definitely be that girl.
Yeah. So thank God you broke the chain on that. You broke the chain.
98%.
98%. That's where you say, you still got it in you. I'm not the 1 or 2.
Exactly. Right.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
Can you give us a breakdown? That's the audience. Can you give the audience a breakdown on the 3 ways to accelerate their manifestation?
I definitely can. Now, I will tell you this, there are multiple ways to accelerate your manifestation. My job as a coach is to make it as simplistic as possible.
Yep.
So the very first thing, like I said on the video, I preach against people telling their desires. And this is the only reason why, because everyone is not walking in the same faith. And majority of the time when we take on a new challenge or a new desire, our faith is not at 100%.
Come on.
If we're just being honest, it's probably at about, depending on the person, I'll say 50 to 75%. So if you are not at a full potential when it comes to your faith, you are still trying to trust God in this thing you're doing, and you have a conversation with someone that says, well, how is that possible? How can that happen for you? How are you going to get that done? 9 times out of 10, it creates insecurity and anxiety. And when you live in that state, you forget about the one source, and that's God. You forget how God is going to do it. It's not your business on how it's going to get done. It's going to get done. So, but then I had an understanding that when my tribe changed, I realized I could trust them with my desire.
That's big. That's big.
It was phenomenal. And I noticed that they were able to encourage me the way I encourage others. So instead of them saying, well, how's that going to happen? They just simply repeated, oh, it's done. It's already done. God is already over. Let me know if you need any assistance when God gives you the wisdom or the steps to take. I was like, come on, tribe, come on. Then I noticed when I did that, the anxiety left, the fear subsided a great deal, because regardless if you know God or not, majority of you are going to face fears. It's what it is. You're a human being.
That's right.
But know that if you continue the process, you continue to believe, you continue to have that support system, you're going to have the courage and the confidence to move forward. So that's number one. I would say find a tribe, like a real tribe, not just because they go to church.
And not just because they're family. Because that's where a lot of people get that messed up. They think that their tribe starts with their family. And like I tell people, that God didn't give them the vision, he gave you the vision. He gave you the vision. And sometimes people, even family, they will give out. They'll say, okay, this ain't working fast enough for me, so I'm gonna have to back off, and do my own thing, or go my own way, or I just can't roll with this because it's not happening fast enough. So it's not their vision. So, you got to go through the process, and it's about finding your people. I love what you said. It's about finding your tribe. And also, and with that being said, finding the tribe, also, it's about, some people they don't accept help as easily. People have been hurt time and time again, so they're scarred. So when people come along that are true and that want to help them, they tend to push them away. You know what I mean? So it's really, this is why I tell people time and time again, it's asking God for that discernment so that you can understand, what does your spirit tell you? Not just, oh, they look good or they're talking good, because that's what happens. A lot of people come and they talk good and it sounds like what you want to hear. That's the trick of the devil, to give you flattery, and so he can make his way happen with you. But at the same time, it's that discernment. It's the discernment that tells you, is this the person that I need to be working with? Is this the person that we can move together, network, and move together to build something? And this is why, this is one of my number one things that I ask God to increase in me, that provision and who is who and what is what. That's what it's about. Absolutely.
That's smart though. That's smart to even ask, because sometimes, like, you and I can say we're going to use the spirit of discernment, but some people don't know God or themselves enough to know what discernment is.
Right.
So I usually tell people, you will know the healed from the wounded. And what I mean by that is, I could be still challenged with something, but I'm still going to speak healing words.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you'll find people that may say, oh, well, that didn't work out for me in the past. What are you doing? No. Healed people have a way of saying, although I didn't experience that, I'm sure God has a greater plan for you, and it's going to work out somehow, some way. Like, healed people talk different. That's why I tell people, even my clients, the first thing I say is, I need for you to be as transparent and honest as you can. You don't have to fake for me. You ain't got to fake for God, because God knows you better than me. You know, just be honest. Like even my transition from just being a person that had a somewhat pessimistic mindset, had a path, kind of lost the path, did some other crazy things, and then kind of got back.
Yep.
Me being the most authentic with God was when I had a prayer. I was like, okay, I hated my life at the time, couldn't stand it. And I was seriously honest, very dramatic though. I was crying by a lake, you know, and I was like, God, just show me where.
It's funny how he pulls you towards a body of water.
And see, I'm a Cancer. So water, I'm a water sign, so I have to be near water.
Yeah.
But it was the most authentic and honest prayer I ever had in my life. I said, God, it's clear I don't trust you. So show me how to trust you.
Ooh, that's real.
I had to be honest because I was so lost and I was thirsty for knowledge that was going to lead me somewhere, not the whole, you know, status quo. And I came from a certain family where it's like they wanted you, you know, to do normal things, doctor, lawyer, nurse, you know, whatever. So I've always been not necessarily the black sheep, but the oddball. You know, originally I started in music, so I was a singer for a very, very long time, you know. So entertainment was my draw, and it was like, how are you gonna make money and all this stuff? But getting back to my prayer to God, I was just honest and sincere. Like, I don't have to say, oh, Father God, and have no, God, I need you.
Right.
I need your help right now. I don't have to, it's no time to be phony.
Right.
Like, it's clear that I have a trust issue with you, because if I didn't, I would not worry as much as I am worrying. So show me how to get in a place where I can trust you authentically. And God didn't necessarily speak to me, but he brought someone into my life that showed me, like, you walk around, you go to church all day and you're praying, but your prayers are ineffective because you don't know how to pray. You're praying out of lack instead of out of thanksgiving. And the Bible speaks of that.
Absolutely.
So when I learned that, I was like, okay, well, let me test it out. And as I continued to test it out and actually thank God in advance what was taking place, instead of asking consistently out of worryation and thinking, well, it's really not going to take place, everything started to shift. Relationships, money, career, even the way I felt about myself, my confidence, the way I moved in a room. I would even tell my angels, because we have angels, I said, like, you go before me and you set it up before I get there.
Come on. And he do it every time. They do it every time. Come on.
Time. But that's not something I learned how to do, unfortunately, in church.
Yeah.
Now, they taught me the word. They taught me how powerful the word was, but I wasn't taught how to use it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that faith was, you had to have a certain repetition with faith in order to start really believing it. I had to build a catalog of what God has done to reflect back to in order for me to see where I was going.
Come on. That key word is trust. That key word, I'm sure that life started turning around for you, just like for me. Life started turning around as soon as you started building up that trust. Like, all right, he's real. He's showing something. And I'm sure you had to trust him in order to get to this level in your life where you are the mindset manifestation coach. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wantaise Davis. You are watching The OD. Once again, special guest Wantaise Davis. I know she's dropping nuggets. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit us up in the comments. Especially if she dropped a nugget on you, go ahead and repeat that in the comments. Wantaise, where can our viewers find you? Where can they connect with you at? Because I know you got some great things coming up. I'm keeping things hush right now because I don't know if I should say it. You might get a secret right now, but I know you got some things brewing, some things in the works that are coming. What's next for you, and how can the people find you?
Okay, well, you can find me on all socials at Wantaise Davis. It's very, very easy. I'm now on TikTok, of course, my Instagram, and I'm starting beefing up my YouTube channel again. So yeah, find me on there. As far as what I have coming up, I'm putting together a course for anyone that is looking for love. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Yeah, if you want to find your boo, if you really want to manifest that partner, that female, that dude, hey, I got something coming for you. And then later on in the year, I have a conference coming up. can't really say too much about it, but it's gonna be fire. Fire. I'll make sure I give you the details when everything is finalized.
Please do. Wantaise, I want to thank you once again for jumping on with me to do this. I know you got some great things coming up, and I know you're a busy woman, and but I am just thankful that you answered my call when you did, and you jumped right on in there. I really, really appreciate you. Any last word, real quick before we go? Any last word that you have for that young woman that is out there and she needs a word right now to get her through?
I will tell her this. Whatever is not working in her life is not a fact. It's just an experience. It's temporary. So if you start speaking to that experience consistently, I don't care what it is, and it's very simple. If you need a job, just start saying, God, I thank you for that job. I thank you for that job. The job is mine. I thank you, God, for that job. Say it as much as possible, and then let it go. Go about your day, and you'll notice you'll have a messenger pop up. People start telling you about opportunities that you weren't even aware of. So your current reality is temporary. Speak to it, and you'll see a reality shift. That's a guarantee.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wantaise Davis, mindset manifestation coach, you guys. Thank you once again for coming on. I know that this program, this broadcast has blessed somebody. It's definitely been a blessing to even sit in a conversation in your presence right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of VOD, brought to you by the Social Maximus. I am your man, Shannyn Casino, and you know you can find me on all social media, Shannyn Casino, aka 5 You already know what it is. Until next Wednesday, click the link. I see ya. Hey, good people, it's your man, Shannyn Casino. Thank you for watching another episode of VOD, where every week we'll be bringing you another episode at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube, the Social Maximus Network. Now listen, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And after that, make sure you share this episode with somebody else that may need the value that you just got. Until the next episode, I see you.